Good morning guys, as you can see I'm on my way home from work, almost there to be honest. I was a bit muddy around here because it's obviously a building site over there. Yeah, so I've had this bike now for exactly a week, 7 days. I haven't used it every day. The simple reason is I just had the weekend. And I didn't use it at all at the weekend, and I didn't use it last Friday as the weather was absolutely rubbish and my wife's car is available. Then I'll use that, and I will do that throughout the winter really. If the car's available and the weather's not too good, then I will be using that. Right, so this morning's video is just really a quick talk to tell you how I'm getting on. Like I say, I didn't use it every day. I've now done 35 miles on it. The battery is 38%, and this here is range. It says I've got about 14 miles left in that mood, 19 in 2 and 24 in 1. And as you know, in 1 it goes about 16 mile an hour, in 2 about 22, and in 3 it does about 28 to 30. I don't know how accurate it is, but I did go past like one of these static speed things on the road, down a road close to here, and this was reading 28, and it actually came up on the display 28, so I've got no reason to think that's not quite accurate. So in the first week of using this, I can say for the short journey I do, that's fine. Now whether I would want this to go any distance, I mean, I've seen online people saying they use them to go 10 miles to work and 10 miles back. I don't think I'd want to do that. One, because it's just not got enough power for that in my mind, unless there were like very, very quiet roads, or in a busy town centre when you're constantly getting past everything, like maybe in a city or something. But the journey I do is just, well, when I leave from here, it's just over 1 mile. So I go to work and back twice a day. So obviously I only clock up about 5 mile, I suppose, which is ideal for something like this. A couple of 3 days last week I was leaving from my mother-in-law's, which is about 3 miles. So obviously that would mean that'd be 12 miles a day, and that'd be fine for that in a day. But I wouldn't want to do it like for one ride, I wouldn't have thought, but it's entirely up to the person who owns a bike. Luckily, I wouldn't have bought this bike to be my only motorcycle. That's not what I wanted it for. I just purely wanted it to nip backwards and forwards and work, and some round town riding in the summer. That's probably going to be quite fun. It's quite fun now, to be honest. The only downside I'm finding at the moment is the acceleration's not brilliant. That'll get to 30 mile an hour, but that's not really quick. Obviously in the mornings, or like now on the school runs, I can't really hit 30 most of the time anyway because of traffic and whatever. But when I go early in the mornings, there's no one about to bug me. But I did pull out a couple of times during the week onto a busier road, and everyone is in such a hurry. No one wants to go 28 miles an hour, so they're right up behind you, the cars I'm talking about. So where I come out of a junction and there's a cycle lane, not on the path, you know, like at the side of the road, I try and get in that till I get a speed up. But other than that, I'm finding it okay. As you can see, there was a strap that went across the seat. And basically what they say it's for is for a passenger to hold on. Well, I ain't going to carry a passenger on here. I might take one of the grandkids round the block for a bit of fun. Anyway, I removed that because I was sitting on it and that was annoying. These pegs, I was toying whether to remove them, but I think I'll leave them because they ain't bothering me and they're not that much weight on, I thought. And if the case come where I did take one of my grandkids round the block, they got somewhere to stick their feet. This little charger thing, that's so flimsy, it just keeps falling out. And I thought they could have done a better job with that, couldn't they? They could have done a better job with this. The actual look of the bike, I think it looks quite smart. When I was looking for one of these, I did toy with going for the TC or the TC Max, and then I thought, well, the TC Max is good if I wanted to go on 40-mile-an-hour roads to work. Then I'd had to have gone for that because that says I can do 60, but I think reality is about 50, 55 max. But I don't know because I haven't ridden one. But as I didn't, I thought I'd go for the smaller one, which was either this TSX or the TC. And I quite like the look of this bike, to be honest, so that's why I've gone for it. But I had a bit of trouble getting hold of one. I rung up everywhere around this way what said they had them, but they all said no, we order them from Super Soco. But then they'll come back and say, oh, they're not available at the moment. A few places came back with slightly damaged ones or ex-display, test ride bikes really. I'm trying to think for a word for it at the minute. I didn't want one of them, I wanted a new one. I'd never test rode one. I'd sat on one and I've took the plunge and bought it. There is plenty of videos where people hire them, test ride them, they have them for an hour or whatever. I don't think you can get enough information in that time. But I went by what people said, and most of them are not far out. It's not really powerful, but it does the job. And don't get me wrong, I'm quite enjoying it. It's lovely just getting it straight out of the garage, switch it on, go. No warming up, no noise to annoy my neighbours, just away you go. And obviously, not only is quiet, it's environmentally friendly. There's no smoke, no petrol and stuff in it, no fluids. The only fluid this has got is the brake fluids. So you've got no oils and nothing to leak. That's how come I can take it indoors when I go to my mother-in-law's. Just same as taking me push bike in really, apart from it's bigger of course, but I've got no worries of petrol leaking or oil dripping out. Yeah, so all in all, I'm quite enjoying it. What I will be doing over the next few days, as you can see the weather's a bit rubbish this time of year, but hey ho, just carry on with it. What I'm going to be doing is, I've seen where you can de-restrict these, and it might go 40 mile an hour. So I'm going to have a go at that, see if that works. I'm hoping that'll give it a bit more room, but I don't think it will, because as far as I'm aware, whether you're in mood 2, 3 or 1, that still pulls the same. It doesn't give it any more pull, it just takes it up to a higher maximum speed. If I can get this to go just over 30, I think that'll be a lot better. But just under 30 is not good enough, I don't think. Not when you're in traffic. But we'll see on that one. So far the brakes are quite good. I'm getting more daring on it. I keep thinking it's going to slip on the wet roads, but it hasn't yet. It's just in my head. And like I've said probably a couple of times now, I wouldn't have bought this as my main motorcycle. I have got my Harley, and I wouldn't even bring it out today, especially for these short journeys. I just wouldn't do it. So it's ideal for me to use. I ain't got to worry about it. I'll probably give it a wash down once a week. Right, I have topped the battery up 2 or 3 times this week, only for like an hour here and an hour there. So I can't say exactly what mileage I'm getting out to the battery. They do say that the battery gets a bit better after a few cycles, so we'll see on that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stick it in my garage and I'll stick it on charge, and I'll charge it to 100%, and then I will knock off the trip counter and I'll just see how many miles I can get before I need to recharge it. There'll be plenty more videos coming out of this bike as I use it, just to let anyone who's thinking about getting one, all the pros and cons of whether they want to, whether it's worth it, and how I get on with this bike. Also, like I said, I will be trying to de-restrict. Some people say they don't work on these newer ones, so I don't even know if it's going to work. And there's that coming up, and obviously just everyday riding to see how the bike fares up. So that'll leave me to say thanks for watching. If you're interested in these videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you've got any questions, drop them down below and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. And I will be getting the Harley out on some days when it's nice and dry. And I'll catch you all soon. Bye for now.